opinions you're about to hear on this show are strictly those of the panel.
The following program is rated TV MA LSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, and violence. It is intended only for mature audiences.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Shit Show. So how are you guys doing tonight? How are you, Ruben? I was going to say Bruce. Bruce, and then I was going to say Orange Hat. But Ruben's not here this evening. He seems to be having some things going on, personal things going on, but I don't think they're bad. I'll just put it that way.
Finally.
I don't think they're bad either. I think they're very, very good.
I think some good things are happening for him, and I'm happy that he seems to be doing really good. And if he misses the show because he's fulfilling life, then I think it's worth it. So how are you guys doing though before we get started?
Yeah, pretty all right today. I was thinking I was going to have to work, and that didn't happen. And then my boss called me. He's like, "Did you get over there?" I'd never got an address, so I never left. Shit. No. We talked about this yesterday. If you're serious about it, just drop me the pin. I'll go there. It never happened, so I never left the home. I was thinking about doing that and some other stuff today, but since I never left, and stayed home, painted miniatures, played video games, relaxed, took big naps, petted the dog downstairs. Had a good day.
That sounds like a very busy day that you had. A fun one too. Well, how about you, Orange Hat? How was your day?
Oh, I can't complain. Woke up, cleaned a bit of shit. Saw that it was thawing outside, so yeah, the snow is starting to thaw. And good to be here. Have a lovely lady on top again. So yeah,
on top.
On top. Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you. I appreciate it. But yeah, man, so much shit's been happening. It's good shit too. Lots of good shit, and some stupid shit. But we've had a lot of stuff going on, and I'm excited about talking about some of it. So I hope that, I don't know if you guys have seen all the stuff that I'm going to be showing, but let me get started here. Oh, I did share a few things while you guys were talking of people that were in the chat, and I'll keep sharing that as soon as I get started on all this. But here we go.
I'm having fun right now. We're actually having what was the big Democrat talking point 10 days ago? Trump hasn't done nothing. Trump hasn't done nothing. Is that what you guys are hearing?
It's so expensive. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we have a store brand over here. I'm sharing the screen if you want, Janet.
Okay. Hold on. Let me cancel this other thing I had pulled up. It's all right. Here we go.
So this is at HEB, which is our state store. It
wow,
is.
That's good.
So you get 5 dozen A size large white eggs, and they're usually really good. I've only had maybe one in a box be broken at most. And so that's they're 33 cents per count. And those are the store brand. Those are the cheapos. But like if you want, there's 18, 7, 17, 665, 443. This wasn't like this 3 weeks ago. This one here was 515. This one here was 509. This one was at around $8. Other prices of eggs have dropped. The El Cheapo ones, the Hill Country Fair, the same type, but only egg 18 count, 647, 36 cents an egg. 36 cents an egg. That's crazy. All right.
That's a good price.
Yeah, it's going down. Things are good. I wanted to come out swinging on the economy because it's rocking and rolling right now, and fuel is dropping in price too. It was $2.51 at a sit-go yesterday before I got home.
That's good too.
251,
Well,
258.
He's trying to make changes. He's doing the best he can with what he's been allotted, basically. But I'm telling you right now, just to have a commander-in-chief that's actually commanding and being a chief, basically, and he's talking to the press 24/7. He's always busy doing something. He's very visual. It's just a shocking change from what we had for 4 years, where we had corpse in chief. You never saw him. He was in his basement all the time. He was just constantly just looked like he was pooping his pants or something. I mean, it was sad. Okay, it was really sad just to see a viral video going around bitching and moaning about what Trump's doing is something to prove that he is doing shit. He's actually out and about and doing stuff, and I'm loving it. I'm enjoying it. I feel happier. I'm sleeping better. Lots of good things are happening for me simply because I have a better outlook on things. I mean, does it seem like it's having an effect like that on you guys?
A little bit.
I'm not going to say that I was downtrodden before, but it just feels nicer that you're seeing the media and the agenda kind of get its face just stuffed, like face masked by the Trump administration, by Vance, and just the entire group of people that are out there running around being complete and total dominant males, which is what I wanted to see. I didn't want to see some cross-dresser with a fucking nuclear package. I didn't want to see the ugly fucking lady thing dressed up in an admiral's uniform saying she's an admiral of public health. Fuck her. I don't want clown world. I'm good with one day a year Halloween. I don't need cross-dressers or shit like that being front and center, force-fed into us. This is normal. This is normal. This is normal. Fuck you.
I agree 100%. I think it's been, I don't know, it's freaking awesome, all of it.
I mean,
all the different. Right, go ahead.
The only bad things I've had to deal with, because I don't really get a lot of liberal interaction on X. Believe it or not, I actually get a lot more sycophantic right on my end. Because everybody's like, oh, we can't stand fucking Pam Bondi. She fucked up on the Epstein file. Are you guys fucking retarded, or were you at least dropped on your head when you were born or some shit? Because last time I checked, people are allowed to have a bad day. People are allowed to have a bad day. Thing is, guess what? Mm-hmm. She fumbled. She thought she had something gold. She didn't realize what she had. So yeah, she fucking did a photo op. God fucking, or big fucking whoop. She made, or yes, we all look like a bunch of fucking idiots. You know what? That's on her. Am I going to fucking write her off as a fucking failure? No, I'm not going to write her off as a fucking failure. I give her a B+ currently. She has a B+.
You're rating her kind of high.
For a grade. Okay. I mean, when it comes to the Epstein files,
Bruce, you think that's too high rating?
I'm biased against her because I don't like her stance on 2A.
Well, I'm not. Okay, but here's the thing. 2A aside, Second Amendment aside, the Epstein files thing, which is the main crux of everything that we're talking about right now.
Sure.
I want that shit released right. I don't want it released quickly. Because if it is released quickly, guess what? There's chances that there's going to be some major problems. And major problems being legal, the endangering of American citizens, and other things like that shouldn't be endangered. Now, for those of the people who are on the client list, yes, release them in a timely manner. Do not make us wait for 4 fucking years. I would like to see the Epstein client list at least released within this year. I am not going to complain until it's next year.
I'm giving him 6 months, and then I'm going to start bitching. Okay, because 6 months from today, or from when they first got in, is to me plenty of time to pick something and start working on it. You know what I mean? So I think that's reasonable. I think 6 months into their term, if something hasn't happened, because just like I've been saying, I want to win some seats in the next election in 2026. And we can't if we don't have some arrests and people going to trial or something. We have to have something, to prove that we're not putting up with this shit.
Trump recently said something interesting about CNN and MSNBC and how basically all the stuff that they've peddled should be illegal. And it's like, Trump, if you do examine the law, you actually may find out it is illegal what they have been doing. They have been maliciously lying, knowing what the truth is, yet they choose to lie. That's, believe it or not, that is not just ethically taboo, that is legally taboo. That is malicious defamation. So, believe it or not, he could actually go after them on a legal and criminal standard. The only problem is that there is no legal precedent, and it would make him look bad because he's going after the press. Now, here's the thing. If I was Trump, I'd be like, I don't care. This is illegal what they are doing. It says it right here in the fucking law books. You are not allowed to maliciously lie like this when you are fully aware of the facts. And they are, no doubt, fully aware of the facts. They just want to push a propaganda campaign for the Democrats.
Well, they did that the whole time they were questioning all his cabinet. They over and over said lies over and over again, all of them. And so they knew that wasn't the truth. And then the leader, I guess you'd call him the chairman, I guess, he would state it every time. All of those have been proven to be false, blah, 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 and have to repeat it instead of saying, well, all you guys are liars and you should all be kicked out. That's what I kept waiting for them to do something like that, but they didn't. But here's the first thing I wanted to bring up tonight, as I thought it was interesting. Oops, I got to stop this. It's already started. So this isn't one of my picked things. It's just something I thought I'd play for everybody if they hadn't seen it. But I thought this was funny, so I'm going to let you see this first. When you're snorkeling and get attacked by a octopus. Did you guys see this?
Oh my god! That is fucking hilarious.
Damn.
I couldn't help it.
That looks like a Western Coast problem. Oh, that looks like a real West Coast problem. And like, they don't even know, like, I should take this up to the surface.
Look at the look on their face.
I love that look on their face.
I know, and it says turtle as a gender. Why stop there? So I just thought I would share that because it happened to be underneath this one thing I wanted to play. And it fits with what we're talking about because it says, meet the trans adult film star with a cannibalism fetish and the turtle identifying female that are getting involved in your local politics. And it's Jesse Waters. So I thought, sorry, I can't help it. It was so funny. I thought I'd play this for you. So here we go.
Happy DEI Thursday, our favorite day of the week. It's in honor of Reverend Al Sharpton. We're just bringing you the best stories about diversity, equity, and inclusion. First up, the Linwood City Council in Washington State just appointed its newest member. This is Jessica Ann Roberts, a 32-year-old trans porn star with a cannibalism fetish.
Yep, heard about this.
What the fuck?
Jessica wrote about an uncontrollable desire to impregnate and eat women and was voted in unanimously. He or she said they were just trying to make a little cash on the side. This party's only getting started. In Oregon, a member of the state's Health Advisory Council came out as a turtle.
Hello, everybody. It's JD. I use they, them, and turtle for my pronouns. I'm in the Springfield, Eugene area, and I get to be a member of the council. Isaiah, would you like to go next?
Wait, I got to pause it. So what does this mean? That she has an innie or an outie? You know what I'm saying? Because she's a turtle? I don't know.
If that thing identifies as a turtle,
I didn't
Pause.
even know you could do that. Turtle gender, also known
Pause,
as tortoise
Janet.
gender, is an identity used by people who feel a gendered connection to turtles. Fox News has reached out to Oregon's health authority for comment, and they told us that every council member's perspective is highly valued, even the turtles.
Janet,
And over
pause.
in Vermont, a group called the Vermont Family Alliance met at the State House to educate locals about
pause,
radical
please.
transgenderism.
Pause,
Local
Janet.
trans activists got wind of this and
Janet,
said,
pause.
not on my watch.
Janet, pause.
Exactly for this, to not try to censor
Oi,
or disrupt
Janet.
civil discussion.
And look at that. Look at this right here. How is
Oi.
this supposed to help any cause?
Janet, can
Why
you
would
hear us?
any person
Can
sitting
you hear
in
us,
this
Janet?
council think, okay, we want more of this shit every day in
Janet?
front of our kids, in
Can
our
you hear us?
streets? I mean, at least they could do is just wear regular clothes that are covered
can't
their
hear us.
asses and shit, and speak instead of dancing around and looking like a bunch of dumbasses. I mean, this is like Halloween on parade, and I love wearing costumes. But I'm not
Hey,
going to
Jen.
wear a costume into a court or a city council meeting and dance around and say, "Hey, look at my skin flapping out," or whatever. It's just sickening and stupid. I just don't understand it.
Janet,
Hey,
can you hear
Janet,
us?
Janet, pause it. Pause it. Pause it, Janet.
Janet, can you hear us?
Pause the video, Janet.
Things got so hectic that the
Pause the
sergeant of
video.
arms said, everybody out.
I'm losing control of the room and my ability to maintain a safe space
What
for
the fuck?
legislators, staff, the public. Across
Yo,
the 5
Janet,
minutes, I'm going to
can
shut
you
the
hear
doors
us?
and ask everyone to leave the room.
No DEI Thursdays complete without a primetime victory, of course. This week marks the official end of Black Lives Matter.
Janet.
Oi.
In DC, construction
Pause.
crews have begun removing the city's BLM street mural. Remember that one that cost about $4 million? A few years back, Mayor Bowser said this mural would be permanent, but nothing lasts forever. DC residents are kind of mad, but the rest of the country's happy. They can finally move on.
Yeah, very, very interesting that
Janet,
they
can you hear me?
decided to remove that. You know what I mean? Don't you
Janet,
think?
Janet,
can you hear me?
hear us?
That's interesting.
Janet, can you hear us?
Janet, can you hear us?
Hello? Janet?
Hello?
Can you
Janet,
guys hear me?
we can.
Janet.
Can you hear us?
I
Can
can't
you
hear you.
You
What
can't
the
hear
fuck?
me? What's wrong? What the hell?
So
Why
what
is
do
she
I
not
need to
able hear
do?
Oh my God.
Oh no! How do I fix it?
Oh my God.
I don't know what to do.
Check your options.
Janet.
I don't know how to fix the sound.
Check your options.
Hello?
Hey, okay.
Can you hear us?
The
Hello?
panel can hear us. They can hear
Oh,
her.
Hello?
She can't hear. She can't
She
Hello?
can't hear us. Can you
Yes.
hear me, Bruce?
I can hear you just
Can you
fine.
hear me
Mark,
now?
that. I
We can
just
hear
fine.
you. Can you
We
hear
can
us?
Janet.
I can't
Can you
hear
hear us?
you.
Oh my God, this is bad.
This is horrible.
I don't know what I went and checked my audio and it says that it's fine, but can the audience hear us?
Yeah, they can hear us. The only thing is,
Jerry says he can
you
hear
can't
me.
hear us.
Can Bruce, can you speak?
Yes, I can speak.
Oh my God. Who can't hear us?
Okay.
Oh my
I don't know
God.
what to do. Oh, this sucks.
Has been speaking.
Oh,
He's been speaking. Oh my God. It's fucking all it. Folks, Orange Hat Uncensored has never been
Hello?
so can you hear us? Oh my God.
Hello?
She lost audio from me and Bruce, folks. Oh my god, this is so fucking hilarious.
This is bad.
Who can't
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you just fine.
I don't know what to do, guys. I have no idea how to fix it. I've never had anything like this happen before. This sucks. Do you need to leave and come back?
No, you try leaving and coming back.
I need to leave and come back?
Try. Yes,
Okay,
try.
I'll try it. I'll leave.
Oh my god.
This is bad.
At least she was able to read our lips.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Let's see if that helps. Hopefully that helps, because oh my god, this is gonna be so fucking weird.
Yeah.
Like, yo, Janet, pause. Janet, pause. Janet, pause. Fuck.
I can hear you now. What happened?
Can you hear us?
I couldn't hear you. Any of you guys. I could hear I could see me talking.
But can you hear us now?
3 minutes. It's okay.
No, I couldn't hear you at all.
Can you hear us now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, good. Jeez. Holy shit.
Happened? I'm so sorry. It's a shit show. It's supposed to be bad.
I'm guessing your audio your mic or your hearing or your audio rather, your earplugs or whatever. I'm guessing they shit the bed for a second or accidentally
my
farted.
Speakers. I don't have any headphones in.
Well, that's weird then. But yeah,
Sorry,
turtle
everybody.
person.
Sorry, everyone.
They're all laughing at us, so it doesn't really matter.
I'm really sorry, you guys.
It happens, I guess.
It's a shit show.
Nothing makes me happier than when I'm watching the multi-million-dollar news and they're having the same problems that we're having here on $40 a month. So I'm pretty okay with it. All right, guys, it's okay. That clip you were showing there on Fox, Orange Hat, what did you think about that? Because you started trying to get her to pause.
The turtle thing. I wanted to say it's like
bullshit.
Okay, go ahead.
If that thing identifies as a turtle, I identify as a chef.
Yeah, it's bad.
Like that idiot Twitch streaming person years ago for Twitch that they actually elevated to some sort of authoritative position. It's a guy that identifies as a lesbian deer. And it's like, well, here's the thing. If you identify as a deer and they legally accept that shit, do not go hunt or do not go into the woods because motherfucker, we will shoot you. You are what is known as edible prey. That is the problem that these idiots do not fucking think about. When they are identifying as anything less than human, you are therefore giving up your human rights. If it is legally acknowledged. That is what they do not realize. And believe it or not, there can actually be a legal court case to actually argue that shit in court. It's like, if this person say they identify as a deer, if they identify as a deer, and if I fucking see them in the woods, I am legally allowed to shoot them. Because guess what? They do not identify as human, and you legally said we can acknowledge their identity as a deer. So, yes, that can actually be argued in court because of the whole fucking legalese bullshit that the Democrats and everybody on the fucking left decided to try to flood in our fucking nation. They do not realize that they are making themselves legally allowed to be hunted. I mean, if I want to, I don't think the argument will stand. It may not stand, John M. But the thing is, I believe that it can I believe it should be argued in court. Because here's the thing. Do we allow dogs to vote? Do we allow deer to have a voice? Do we allow any of them to legally do any of that? Because if we do, then sure, we could put a fucking turtle in our fucking town councils and whatnot and whatever. I will fucking respect it then. But until that day happens, I would ask that town council, and it's like, I'm sorry, but if a turtle or if this person is identifying as a turtle and they are expecting us to acknowledge their reality as a turtle, they gave up their human rights that should be allowed to be fought out in court.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean,
I think you're onto something there, Orange Hat. I wouldn't agree completely that like they've given up their humanity. I just think that once you start identifying or you start throwing pronouns out there, I honestly feel that a mental health specialist should be aware of you in your vocation, and should your vocation capacity slip, should you not be able to do your job or whatever it may be, I think that we should start looking for those asylums and getting those switched back over to their
How is it
original.
homicide if it's a? How is it homicide? How does it
you kill a
relate, or
turtle.
how is it classified as homicide if I killed a turtle?
Turtle
How
fly.
is it homicide if I killed a deer?
I think it's $100,000 fine for killing turtle, isn't it? If it's a sea turtle, I mean, it depends
If
on
it's
the
a
type
protective
of
species, sure.
Well, do you
But this
think she's a
person said that they
protective?
identified as a
dinosaur.
turtle. I'm merely exercising my right as a hunter
Turtle
to
hunter.
say, you know what, I would like to eat this turtle.
What are you going to do with her eggs?
Well, I would
Eat the
probably
egg.
crack them open and probably have an omelet. Who knows? If
Okay,
anyone
well,
declares they're an animal, they should absolutely lose their licenses. Absolutely. I agree, John. That's the thing. John M. I agree. If they are going to identify as anything less than a human, they should not have the same, or they should not have the same privileges as a human.
Yeah, if I can't count on you to get me a fucking venti, responsibly without misspelling my name, like you've got no capacity for anything. You're
Take
fucking
advantage of mentally ill
incompetent.
people using their illness against them. It is in the case of the homicide issue. Okay. Well, John M. This dude knows a lot about the law, so I'm guessing he's I'm guessing he has a background.
Maybe
in law
he's just
stuff.
read a lot. That could be it. But the thing is that I honestly believe that once you start identifying as something else, your capacity and you need to have the cognitive test, need to have the competency test, need to be vetted. And if you want to perform at the circus, we should have a circus for you. There's one right over in that big building, the local asylum. It wants you to join and wear this fun jacket.
I mean, remember back when Trump's first term, he tried instituting the transgender ban, and I believe he just did it again, so it actually works. The thing is, my brother, I visited him one time, and I asked him, "What do you think about this trans ban?" He's like, "You know what? I absolutely agree with it." And I asked him for a little bit of elaboration. He's like, "Well, here's the thing. It doesn't matter if you identify as a freaking unicorn or whatever. If you can't make the cut in basic training, you should not be allowed in the military."
Well, the next thing I wanted to bring up was this other thing. It is also Jesse. I think it's this one. Let me make sure. No, that's the wrong one. Hold on.
Kamala is a porter and told them that cats can't drive. There's a video of that?
His name is Toonces.
Okay, well, I want to share this with everybody. Awesome. It says, "What do women really want men to know? Johnny hit the streets to find out." So I thought you guys would get a kick out of this because a lot of you men want to know what women want, right? So here we go. It's just a little 4-minute clip, but I think it's hilarious.
Happy International Women's Month, ladies. Nobody loves women more than primetime. So we dispatch Johnny to the streets to find out what women really want men to know. Take a look.
Oh, boy.
What is a woman?
Perfection.
A vessel for love. A woman is anyone who says she's a woman.
Can anybody be a woman?
Yeah.
Hold it. This is a good one. Is everybody listening?
What famous female in history did the most to the life of women?
I don't know if I should say it.
You should say it.
Okay, Beyonce. Rosa Parks.
Why Rosa?
Okay, Rosa Parks is good.
Right on the bus.
Barbara Streisand.
Barbara
Fuck
Streisand?
off.
You had that little film festival last year.
Yeah, you made us all watch all her movies. It was fun.
Be humble. Women aren't perfect, but neither are men.
No.
But what would you say are qualities that you're not proud of that women have?
I get mega attitude. I have a shopping addiction.
I made a mistake. I was a little not so good with the being faithful, and I don't think he's ever going to do it with me again. So I've started to see other people. Are you interested?
Johnny, so maybe you could just say a few words.
Women are more perfect than men.
I didn't say more perfect.
I did. I don't want to get in trouble. So what are women's best qualities?
They're sexy, they're hot, smart, funny.
When you want done, you
Not
get
all of them are.
Strong.
How strong are you?
Very.
Ow.
Athlete.
You fight like a woman.
What do women want?
A loyal, sexy man. Honestly, just food.
Women want great, loving, tender, beautiful, passionate, adoring, safe sex.
But we're okay with that?
What qualities make men different than women?
Men are really patient when it comes to putting together something, like if you've got something from IKEA.
How does it make you feel when men protect women?
That's beautiful. I love it. I think it's sweet.
That's the most beautiful thing in the world.
I'm going to do it whether the women like it or not.
Should men be competing in women's sports?
This is controversial, but I have to say no.
That's just flat out not happening. That's just idiotic. So that's how I feel about that.
And that's all I have to say about it.
Kamala, Hillary, why haven't we had a woman president yet?
Because I haven't run. And you know what I'm going to do when I'm president? Everybody gets a free ounce of marijuana every month.
Neither of them were the right candidate.
Who's the perfect female candidate?
Elizabeth Warren.
You're a big Pocahontas girl?
That's really offensive. I'm not gonna, that's not funny.
The fuck it ain't, Pocahontas.
That's just not
Pocahontas
funny. I'm
girl.
not
I
participating
think
in
she's a lady from the other one I
We can't
saw
make a
last
decision.
time.
What do you want for dinner
In his face. I'm
Oh
not
my gosh, I want a
talking to you.
lasagna.
That
I'm
was
also thinking about a burger.
I'm going to want to research it. I'm going to want to study it. I'm kind of a nerd sometimes.
I'm going to want to do that.
If there's anything that men
Pause.
need to know about women,
Pause.
Now,
A great sin has been committed.
Pause it, Janet.
Yep.
A great sin has been committed just now.
Uh-oh. What?
Kamala Harris claims she's a fucking nerd. If she ever walked into a room full of nerds, God help her, because no one, not even hell, would.
Sorry.
Don't ever claim to be a nerd if you're not a nerd.
Well,
You're a nerd.
you know,
Yeah.
she
What's your
might think
taco?
she's a nerd because she reads. I mean, a lot of people put that label on nerds or geeks.
I
Because they-
read the instructions off of a fucking whatchamacallit? Snap, crackle, pop. Rice Krispies thing. I freaking read the instructions off of that. Doesn't make me a nerd. Now, if I read science fiction and shit and geek out all the time, yeah, I'm a fucking nerd.
Mm-hmm.
But that woman does. She should never. God, I don't find many things offensive, folks. I do find that offensive.
Well, it was kind of offensive. Here we go.
Yes, it was.
Do whatever the girl wants. Open your ears and close your mouth sometimes.
Stop infringing on her rights.
Stop being afraid of the bathtub.
Bitch, what?
Great place for
Pause.
sex.
It's a great place for sex.
Jesse Waters is celebrating International Women's Month. What do you want to tell him?
I don't know who Jesse Waters is.
He's a Fox News host.
Stop spewing lies on television.
You just said you didn't know who Jesse Waters was.
All they do is fucking lie on that channel.
But you haven't watched his show.
Well, that's fair.
Jesus loves you so much.
See you later, alligator.
Boy, she was horny, that lady. She wanted to jump that little guy. It was hilarious.
Dude. But yeah,
I just love that. That
Loktar
was so
Ogar for some nerds out there.
Mm-hmm.
There.
I thought that was really cute. I wanted to do it.
Janet,
but
I just put something into private chat. That's that video that John M. Took me a while to find.
Okay, let me see if I can get it open.
But yeah, stop infringing. I need to, while you get that ready, I need to address that thing. Stop infringing on our rights. What fucking rights do you think you have over men? Except for the fucking draft. Bitch, you have way more rights than we do.
Okay, well, here's that video that John M. sent over. Can we turn it up? Here we go.
You do currently have a California driver's license. You just don't have a physical copy on you at the moment.
That's my preferred method of identification.
And this is...
It's a cat collar. I'm currently identifying as a cat.
Oh, are we gonna, Shannon? Are we gonna turn into a sovereign citizen reaction channel? Are we gonna turn into a sovereign citizen?
No, we're not. I'm playing this because someone in the chat wanted to see it. The thing is, this is the same thing.
I want to see it.
If somebody has a cat collar and they say they're a cat, then they shouldn't be allowed to drive because only humans can drive cars.
Well, judging by the facial hair, that is one hairy pussy.
God, it's disgusting. So you don't want to watch it, Bruce?
Oh yeah, go ahead. Let's watch this. But I was just gonna say, like, maybe we should do sovereign citizen reaction views.
No, my next video is from Cash Patel. It's my number one. It's my first one. So after this fun one, because I've been trying to put something at the beginning. So I'll finish this and then we'll go to the next one.
So rude. I hope you know I'm recording.
Well, it wasn't my intention to offend you, but he just identified as a cat, and you're wearing a Harriet's Waltz t-shirt, so forgive me if I came to a conclusion that you guys are involved in some sort of a homosexual arrangement.
I'm not mad that you think we're together, but you're using gendered language. Besides, I'm not his boyfriend. I'm his owner.
Okay. Well, look, we can do this the hard way if you'd like. I can have this car towed because last I checked, a cat is not licensed to operate a motor vehicle in the state of California. We can have animal control come get you, take you to a shelter where your owner can retrieve you for a fee of $70 after you're given the necessary immunizations, which do include a rabies shot, possibly even spayed or neuter, whichever you prefer or identify with. Is that what you guys want to do here?
What should we do? I don't know. I don't have $70.
Sir, I can also request that a mental health care professional come down here on scene and do an evaluation of you because you're considering letting him take a rabies shot rather than just give me an ID, use some manners so I can give you your ticket and move along.
Oh, that was kick ass.
That was genius.
I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna get that link and I'm gonna share it in the chat for anyone who wants to share that with other people. Because I'm shocked that a California cop actually said that. Aren't you guys?
That's great.
A California cop that's not an oath breaker. How about that? Holy shit.
I think it's great. But I'm gonna share this in the chat really quick because that is a good video.
While you're sharing that, also during the during our audio issue earlier, there was that transgender thing that won a town council thing in Linwood, Washington, who likes to who wants to impregnate and eat women. Here's the thing: what they didn't tell you in that, or what Jesse Waters didn't tell us, folks. Yeah, the person running against that thing was a decorated war veteran.
And who won?
The freak.
The freaky person won? Well.
Yeah, the freak. They also got rid of their OnlyFans.
If you knowingly vote for people like that, then you deserve whatever you get. When you have no control in the streets and you can't afford to live there anymore, you did it to yourself.
True, but here's the thing. I do not agree with the whole statement you deserve what you get if you voted for it. Yes, there are people who vote for that shit. You're absolutely right. But there are also people who didn't vote for that shit.
No, I
such
mean,
as the shit that
the people who voted for the veteran, they don't deserve it. The ones who voted for that person.
Unfortunately, they are the ones who also have to suffer alongside.
Well, yeah, they have to suffer, but they're not the ones that deserve it. It's the other ones.
But then again, one last bit, I do risk sounding hypocritical because I did say during the 2020 election, or I did actually, or in hindsight, I said this. I believe that 2020 was necessary for Biden to actually win. I don't agree that he won. I think that it was a stolen election. However, it is pseudo a good thing that he won, because it allowed everybody to see just how fucked up the Democrats really are. It allowed the masks to be peeled off. It allowed Roddy Piper to destroy that satellite that was putting that or human skin over a bunch of alien faces. So yeah, just wanted to get that out there in case somebody ever heard one of my previous statements and is like, "Well, you said 2020 was a good thing." In a way, it was. So yeah, fuck you. Anyway,
Yeah, you can
soy-based
post it.
Jeremy. Yeah.
You can post it in here if you want, but it depends on how long it is or whatever, whether or not we'll do it. Okay, so there you go. All right, now this next thing I want to share is our new FBI leader. Basically, he's giving us an update on some things that he's been working on, and so I want to try to do bitching and moaning that nobody's doing anything. Where's the arrest? Where's this? Where's that? So I thought this would be start off the show with. So here we go.
In just 2 short weeks, we have arrested over 300 violent felonies, gang members, including MS-13 and 18 gangsters. We have taken seizure of hundreds of pounds of narcotics and hundreds of weapons and currency and illicit goods. That's just what you can do when you put the brave men and women of law enforcement in one room and get the hell out of their way. And we are going to do that in every state across this country. In Massachusetts alone, in the last couple of weeks, they have indicted federally over 50 violent gang members and narco traffickers, seizing almost 200 kilograms of fentanyl. There is no time for us to waste on this job. And that's why under President Trump's leadership and General Bondi's leadership, we've been instructed to get after it. And that's exactly what we are doing. We have to especially get after it when we lose an American citizen every 7 minutes to a drug overdose. We have to especially get after it when a woman or child is raped in this country nearly every 6 minutes. And we have to especially get after it when there are 2 homicides nearly every hour in this country. Violent crime is exploding, and it is a direct result of the border invasion that occurred. But thanks to this administration and thanks to your relentless work on the field of battle to protect our citizenry, we are finally curbing those astronomical numbers. And what that means is we are saving American lives. We are providing our children with safe schools and playgrounds so that they can be educated and grow up in a fun neighborhood like we all had the privilege of doing in this great community.
Yay! See?
I mean, well, you would also have less crime. I'm pretty sure that if they actually pacified Chicago, we would also have, like, our national crime stats would also go down a pretty good amount. Because here's the thing, folks. Chicago, well, this was before Breaking 911 on X had a mental breakdown and just started going ham on the left. They actually used to be pretty unbiased. But yeah, they used to post weekly reports of homicides every weekend in Chicago. And like pretty much every time it was double-digit deaths. How the fuck does Chicago even have a population anymore?
People keep moving there, I guess.
Well,
but here is another thing that I wanted to share with everyone, if they didn't know. It says the Senate just passed the Halt Fentanyl Act to permanently classify illicit fentanyl-related substances as Schedule I drugs and ensure law enforcement has the tools they need to stop its flow into our country. 16 Democrats voted against it.
Well, here's what I would also like.
What? Go ahead.
I'm wondering, what are the penalties for peddling it in our country going to be? Unless it's life in prison, I don't see, or I'm not going to approve of it because it's too weak. But yeah, sorry to interrupt.
It's all right. Go ahead. I'm going to copy these people. These are all the people that voted against stopping drug addicts or drug dealers from, getting punished for selling drugs and killing people in our country. So 18 of them.
Well, I'm willing to bet that Mazziarono and Shifty Shift, as well as Warren and Warnock, I'm willing to bet that they actually... Now, folks, this is an opinion. This is not verified fact. I do want to legally cover my ass here. Yeah, folks, I believe that Warnock, Warren, Schiff, and Hirono may actually have their hand in the drug trade.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they did. Why else would they not want to pass this law? To me, your silence speaks volumes. You know what I mean? That's basically what this means. But I wanted you guys to see that Congress is doing something. Okay. Our Senate passed this. Okay. So we had enough votes to get it in there because it says 84 yay and 16 nay. So
Also,
16
gross.
Democrats
What kind
voted
of name
against
is that? Blunt Rochester. What kind of names are those? Also,
I know, it's
gross
really
and
weird,
Blunt
huh?
Rochester. I mean, it's like, what kind of fucked up individual gives you a name like Blunt Rochester?
I don't know, but it's just that, it's nice to see that somebody's doing something. So I'm glad that happened.
Don't get me wrong. I love that.
So I just want everybody to see that. And then let's see, my next one was this. Here's another, I think is it Jesse? Let me see and make sure I picked on it. But here we go.
Boy, you really got a hard on for Jesse, don't you?
Well, I do when he has good shit. I mean, you guys were all laughing at it. You guys were all laughing. He's kicking ass and taking names.
Yes,
and as long as he's doing it, I'm going to promote him and I'll share his stuff because he's funny and he seems like he's, wanting to get the facts out. But this whole thing is about, it says top Homeland Security officials just revealed that Joe Biden was cooking the books on border arrests. Biden said he arrested tens of thousands of migrant criminals, but they weren't arrested. Biden just caught and released them. So let's watch this. Because we know, all of us know that Biden was a liar. And most of his
top Homeland Security officials just revealed that Joe Biden was cooking the books on border arrests. Joe Biden said he arrested tens of thousands of migrant criminals who weren't arrested. Biden just caught and released them. Biden was taking credit for the catches, but then hiding the releases. If Biden was lying about this, what else is he lying about? Jobs numbers, cocaine, obviously. Why should we believe anything Biden said after he told us he was healthy? Donald Trump should open an investigation into everything Joe Biden put out. ICE says they're now trying to find and lock up the illegals that Biden lied about arresting. Trump's team already arrested more migrants than Biden did in all of 2024. And he hasn't even been in office 2 months. Homan was in New York today. He went to the state capitol just to knock some heads together. He told Governor Hochul that if she doesn't get it together, New York's getting iced.
Sanctuary cities going to get exactly what they don't want. More agents in the community. We'll double the man force there if we have to. Because rather than one officer arresting a bad guy in the jail, one officer arresting one bad guy, now I got to send the whole team.
Homan just wants to make everyone's job easier.
Like
Do you think local law enforcement has the resources to both cooperate with ICE and also conduct public safety for Americans that are committing crimes?
Yes. Why? Because they want public safety threats out of their community too, and they're willing to work with feds to make that happen. Every time I go in New York City, I don't think I've ever seen an NYPD officer that didn't come shake my hand and thank me for what we're doing. They want to help. These officers, they don't get paid a lot of money, but they want to protect their community. And they know someone's here illegally, and they can help not only remove them from community, remove them from the country, make the community safer. They're all in. And I don't think it takes a lot of, rather than arresting the same guy 5 times, arrest him once, give him us. You don't arrest him anymore. I think it's going to relieve a lot of officers' time on the streets.
Democrats didn't like that. When they heard the border czar is coming to town, there was an insurrection at the New York State Capitol. Watch.
How many more New Yorkers? How many more New Yorkers will you detain? How many more New Yorkers without charge? Do you believe in the First Amendment? Do you believe in the First Amendment, Tom Homan?
That guy's screaming at the end. He's running for New York City mayor. And apparently he's surging in the polls, which is just great. Just great. He's like a mini de Blasio.
Commercial for him.
But Homan brushed him off. He's got about 20 million more migrants to deport. No time for protests. Once he's done with New York, he should head up to Boston. That mayor wants to tango.
In terms of mass deportation, our officers will not play a role in that. And, we have not gotten any advance notice from the Trump administration about what they'll do.
That's just, I don't understand how they think that keeping illegal criminals, people who have broke the law, just coming over the border, that they mean more to the country than the people that were paying taxes and work and live there, before these people invaded. What happened to them? What happened to our safety?
Well, here's the thing.
Did they never care about it? I mean, unless somebody comes to their house and beats them over the head and robs them or steals their car and or something bad to each of these people, they think that this never happens to anyone. Or something. I don't know I don't know. I just don't understand any of it. It's ridiculous.
Here's the thing. I want to give a special shout out to Nancy Mace, I believe it was, during a congressional hearing when they had all the mayors there.
Yeah.
She fucking released she freaking told them flat to their face, I'm giving over referral to criminal referrals to AG Bondi for all of you for violating federal law. I'm not doing this to be a bully. I'm doing this because you broke the law. And I'm like, fucking awesome.
Yeah.
It's like, holy shit.
Nancy Mace is that alpha breed woman that you
or
want.
was that Nancy Mace, or was that or am I getting her mixed up with Anna Paulina Luna?
You could see that coming out of either one of them. I think it was Nancy Mace.
No, it was Anna Paulina Luna.
It was?
Because
Well,
I remember
this right here, Joe's Atmosphere said they want the votes, Janet. Pretty simple. The thing is, if they're illegal, it's not legal for them to vote. Okay.
It is
So how are they
unfortunately
gonna
in
get
New
their
York.
vote? Well, see,
It is unfortunately in New York.
It's going to end up being Escape from New York, just like the movie. It's what's going to happen from there. If they keep doing this stupid shit, I mean, it doesn't make any sense. And when all the people leave, when the taxpayers just say, I'm sick of this shit, and they leave, then what do?
Well, here's the thing. Speaking of deportations and stuff, Donald Trump, or remember that Biden did the CBP-1 app to help all the illegals get into the country illegally and whatnot. Here's the thing. Donald Trump just relaunched the app, but he repurposed it for self-deportation. And it's like, if you use this app, you will be allowed to re-enter the United States legally. If we find you and you do not, or if you do not use this app and you abstain from using it and we catch you here illegally, you're done. You don't get to come back across the border here. You will not be welcome in the United States. And I'm like, holy shit, that is masterclass. Because this dude just took the Democrats' greatest weapon for keeping the border open and shit, and the greatest enticement to keep the border or to get more illegals here. And he just turned it into the greatest weapon to get them out. Because yes, some of them will leave just to come back the right way. And you know what? If they come back the right way, I have no problem with it. If they're here illegally, I have a fucking problem with it. And I love that, or I always will love that that video of Tom Homan absolutely owning AOC. When she's like, seeking asylum is legal. You want to seek asylum, you enter through a port of entry and do it the legal way. It's like, oh shit. But yeah, President Trump, folks, just fucking did the biggest fucking boss move, as Grumpy Old Ninja in the chat says, man. Yeah. New York was issuing driver's, with automatically get you a voter registration where they may not be able to vote in federal elections, but they can, yeah, that's what I was talking about. And it's like, you motherfuckers. I mean, here's the thing. Kathy Hochul is doing so much damage to our state right now. The whole bit with we're going to start prosecuting you with the through the toll thing, that new toll law that she has.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thanks to that fucking toll law, scammers are now trying to scam out people into saying, oh shit, did we actually use the toll and forget to pay or something? And they're trying to say, well, you need to pay or click on this link and pay $6.99 and all this and that. It's a fucking scam. And one of these things came up on me and I'm like, oh, that's cute. I don't own a vehicle, first off, and I sure as hell ain't in New York City area. So, good luck getting that fucker or getting me to believe that fucker. Ah, you dumb shits. But the point of the matter is, it's because of that tyrannical law that this shit was made possible. Fortunately, I'm a smart person. I will not fall for this shit. Unfortunately, there are people down in New York State who might actually fall for it because they're dumbass liberals. And yes, folks, I am saying that because liberals are fucking dumbasses. Now there are some liberals who are not. I'm sorry, but the lion's share of you are. I mean, look what you keep on voting for.
Yeah, but see, that's the sad truth is there's a lot of people out there that hate Trump more than they love to save this country. That's sad. Do what?
They love to hate Trump or Republicans more than they love their kids. They're not thinking about that. They're ruining everything they touch just to piss off the Republicans. Trump wasn't a Republican. He was one of them. He was the bank. Your heroes went to the bank and they borrowed from Trump or loaned from Trump or got a glad hand from Trump. And every fucking time it turned out like for years, he was a friend to anybody in New York that needed money. Oh, you're a politician. I'll help you. Here's 5,000. Here's 5 million. Blah, blah, blah. All of them were former Democrats. Exactly. But in 2015, when he gets tired of it because he's unable to fucking do anything on the web or do anything whatsoever without having to press 1 for English, he fucking loses his fucking mind. He's like, I'm done. Like, I gotta run. I gotta get the country back to where we can make money again.
Yeah.
Left-wing extremism linked to psychopathy and narcissism, says a study. The New York Post apparently posted that. Libs of TikTok only posted the screenshot of the thing, not a link to the fucking article. It's like, well, but then again, I can't really give Libs of TikTok much.
You have to look it up.
Yeah.
But
I can't.
Next thing I thought was really interesting because it says that Trump's deputy national security advisor, KT McFarland, we now have black and white evidence beyond the shadow of a doubt that the FBI attempted to overthrow the United States government on behalf of Hillary Clinton in 2016. Yeah. And the CIA toppled the United States government on behalf of Joe Biden in 2020. Yep. Now issue the warrants and arrests and the subpoenas. But here you go. I want you guys to watch this. This is pretty good too.
Now have black and white evidence that the FBI interfered in the 2016 election. And then when they failed to get their candidate elected, Hillary Clinton, then they just set out to destroy the Trump administration. So then go up to 2020. It was the CIA this time that got involved in the 2020 election with those 51 former intel agents who talked about the Hunter Biden laptop as total Russian disinformation. So they've gotten away with it for 2 elections. They're for sure going to get away with it, try to get away with it in 24, right? Because there's no consequence. The difference is in 2024, the evidence is there. We now have the Durham investigation. We have all the congressional investigations. There is now hard evidence that there was election interference by the U.S. intelligence agencies and the Department of Justice. They've got to be terrified. Those individuals have to be terrified that a Republican president comes in the 2024 election with a Republican attorney general, investigates them and charges them all with the crimes they've committed over the last 8 years.
Well, we'll see about that. You're right. There are questions around these elections because of this interference. Do you think there will be election interference then in 24?
Take it to the bank. They will absolutely interfere in 2024. We're not sure how, but they will absolutely interfere.
Pause.
Not only because they're not going to like.
The thing is, go ahead.
If they say that they have fucking black and white evidence, I want to fucking see it. Don't fucking state it. Fucking show it.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. So hopefully, remember, wasn't it Bondi and Kash Patel and a few others before they were sworn in, talking about trying to bring to justice the people that had to do with the whole thing with the Hunter Biden laptop and all that with the FBI. Remember, they sat on.
They'd love to say this shit, but it's like, oh, bloviating. You are nothing but fucking hot air. I want to see action. If you say that there's fucking evidence, arrest Hillary fucking Clinton right now and fucking bring that in as evidence to her fucking trial. Otherwise, I don't want to fucking hear a goddamn word you're saying. I am not going to fucking believe it until I see it. Huh?
Have you heard them talking about that they had solid evidence before?
They can say it all they fucking want.
No, I know, but on Fox News.
I mean,
what I'm trying to say is they're finally saying some of these things that they have it, and I haven't heard a peep out of the Clintons at all because they're getting ready to release as much as they can for the Epstein stuff, and now they're saying that they have all the evidence they need because the Durham report was released. How long ago was that? That wasn't but what, a month ago, maybe?
I guess, but here's the thing.
Yeah.
I am not going to believe a goddamn word of it until I see actual fucking black and white evidence in front of me that I can fucking read. This is the first
time I've seen them actually talking about it and that they did have all they needed. So I'm hoping that within the next few months, we're going to see them.
Why isn't she in cuffs?
I'm hoping that we're going to see that now within the next 6 months, just like I said. And she's not saying shit. I mean, she's like, this is on the news and she doesn't say a damn thing. She doesn't have anybody rebut it or come out against it. See, that's what's interesting to me. Silence is speaking volumes again, just like before.
Well,
from that other one.
Hold on, Janet. The silence isn't really speaking volumes because they already have MSNBC. Yeah, I know. They already have. I know. They already have MSNBC and CNN defending them and saying that's not true and anything that Fox News says can't really be trusted. They have, unfortunately, people fucking believe in all that shit. But the thing is, this woman is saying that there's black and white evidence. That means that basically means there is solid fucking evidence. I'm sorry. If you have solid evidence, there would be a fucking immediate arrest.
Yeah, they should be arrested. So I'm hoping that we're going to see that very quickly.
There shouldn't be an arrest 6 months from now. No, if you have the fucking evidence, do not sit on it. You fucking go to their goddamn residence. You say, we have a warrant for your fucking arrest. You can either come quietly, or if you resist, it's only going to be much fucking harder, and we may have to put your fucking ass down. But I'm sorry. I want this fucking, or if you have the fucking evidence, you get your ass a fucking warrant for their arrest and you fucking arrest them immediately. I'm sick and tired of them saying, oh, we got black and white evidence. You're not proving anything to me. You're bloviating.
Yep. I agree. I want to see somebody go
whoever the Republican candidate is. but because they're going to protect their own hides. That's why they were talking to their own people, and the whistleblowers have brought this up, that they were told, don't put anything on paper, just tell us orally. They knew that they were doing stuff wrong. They knew that they were going to be liable for prosecution.
So let's see some arrests, just like you said. Hopefully we will very soon. That's what I'm hoping. But hopefully that, you know, some good shit's going to happen. It's starting to happen. It's only been 2 months, but I definitely think that we're going to start seeing some good stuff. Okay, well, here's something else. It says that Pam Bondi's cracking down. This is the Tesla dealership terrorist.
All right.
That. So here we go.
The one that got set on fire?
Walking up on that. We have someone in jail right now from one of the dealerships. They threw a Molotov cocktail through a dealership. They're looking at up to 20 years in prison. So if you're going to touch a Tesla, go to a dealership, do anything, you better watch out because we're coming after you.
Wow.
And
Well,
if you're funding this, we're coming after you. We're going to find out who you are.
So, I mean,
you have people.
So they're arresting people. And I've got some other stuff about all that. But the whole thing is, it's sad that the left thinks that by doxing people, sending pizzas to their house, having people swatted, burning Tesla cars, which most of them, which is funny to me, most of these people that are doing this shit are probably driving electric cars because they're the ones that said everyone should stop driving gas-powered cars. You know, it's all of it's just stupid. I'm shocked. I mean, I thought it was going to be bad, but I didn't realize how stupid these people really, really are. And it's shocking to me. I just can't get over it. Okay, but this right here, I thought you guys would really get a kick out of this. I don't know if you saw it. It's about this whole thing about Diddy's lawyers saying that CNN altered the assault video, you know, and they just destroyed the original footage. So I thought this was interesting. If you guys have seen this, okay, ready? Here we go.
We just broke a huge story on the website. An unbelievable story. Remember the Cassie video? This is Diddy beating Cassie in the hallway of the Intercontinental Hotel in Los Angeles back in 2016. Everybody assumed this video was going to be really important part of the federal case, even though he's not being charged for this. The prosecution wanted to play this video to the jury in the federal case. I do not think that's going to happen
because what?
Before it aired it and has now destroyed the original.
Like I said, unbelievable. If true that original copy of that video has been destroyed, I can't even get into why it would have been destroyed. But the bottom line for the case, as you say, is if that's true, it's going to be a huge hurdle in the prosecution getting this admitted.
It's not going to get admitted. But let's get into what happened. Now, there is a joint letter that was filed today in federal court by both the prosecution and the defense regarding evidence. Now, this portion of the letter involving the Cassie video, it was the narrative is from the defense.
Right.
So let's get into what the defense is saying.
So here's what they say about the tape. They say CNN purchased the only known copy of the hotel surveillance footage, uploaded that footage into a free editing software.
Woo!
And then destroyed the original footage, even though it came out and repeatedly reported about the federal investigation.
Okay, that is breathtaking for a couple of reasons. Number one, I mean, obviously they paid for it and then destroyed it. But between paying for it and destroying it, according to the defense at least, it was altered. They did not air the full version. They said they sped it up. They took things out of sequence.
Right.
And that's, if true, it is shocking.
The speeding up, the editing of it is not shocking.
The out of sequence.
And that it can be shocking depending on what they are alleging they're trying to tell there. But again, I cannot fathom a reason that they would destroy the original. I get that you upload it and you're going to edit. And I agree with you that it seems to me the better thing to do would just air the entire thing.
Air the raw.
Yeah, but even if you do edit it, why destroy the original?
So there's more here, according to this letter.
Referring to the editing.
And this is where they
the
explain
defense says the video also includes speeding up the video to make it falsely appear that the actions in the video are taking place faster than they are. As a result, the CNN videos do not fairly and accurately depict the events.
So kicking somebody too fast is different than kicking somebody slower or throwing them to the ground. That should make any difference. Do you guys think that this is going to help him?
I think
get
CNN
off?
needs to be charged with aiding and abetting Diddy. The entire fucking company.
It sounds to me that they're trying to help him get off instead of, and they pay
Conspiracy
for it.
and destruction of, or
Yeah,
conspiracy and destroying of key evidence.
But if they do this, let's say that they do get sued, okay, CNN, right, for destroying this and doing this damage, because speeding up a tape doesn't necessarily prove that he didn't beat her up. Okay, it doesn't to me, and that's common sense. He still threw her to the ground. He's kicking her, and he drags her pretty much by her hair back to the room. Okay, we don't know what's going on in the room besides what her witness testimony. So to me, them showing this edited version and them saying this has been edited, this is not the original because it was destroyed by CNN, and then show the proof that that CNN was charged with destroying, evidence, blah 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 blah, and put it all out in the court. You know what I mean? During the trial. And I think that let the jury decide whether or not they believe the footage or not. That's what I'm hoping will come out of this, because I think this is ridiculous, because if CNN's willing to do that, who else is willing to do that shit? You see what I mean?
Soy based, are you on X?
I don't know what's he trying to do.
Well, he said something that I find interesting. He can now get off on a technicality.
I'm saying I think editing the video is hurting the victims. That's why I think it's wrong, and that they should put it all out in the court while they're trying to show the evidence, and let the jury decide whether or not the edited version of the video is enough to believe that they sped it up or whatever that makes it look worse than it was. I mean, to me, it's pathetic. It doesn't make any difference to me. I would still believe that it was him wearing a towel running in the hallway.
Soy based, are you talking about, or because you said that I should know what you mean, are you talking about when I mentioned the Epstein stuff, or not the Epstein stuff, but the Harvey Weinstein stuff? Enough to get off on a technicality? Because unless that's what you mean, I honestly have no idea what you are talking or referencing.
Yeah, we know the video was tampered with.
We know the video was tampered with, but with Diddy getting off on a technicality, yeah, I understand that a person can get off on technicalities all the live long day, but I don't understand why I specifically would know what you mean.
But basically, I just wanted you guys to see that somebody like CNN did something like this, and this big case that everybody's waiting on, and then they make sure that they take care of it right before he's supposed to go to court. You know what I mean? It's so suspicious. So if I were them, I would start looking into who had the tape, who it passed through, and find out which one of those people are being blackmailed by Diddy. You know what I'm saying? Somebody's involved in all that stuff. But I think it's terrible, because I want to see people punished for these crimes of blackmail, rape, drugs, whatever it is that they're doing, underage kids being there, all that stuff. If an adult wants to go to an orgy, it's none of my business. You know what I mean? I don't give a shit. But if they have underage kids there, then yeah, somebody should be paid for that. And depending on whether a person was taken there against their will, then yeah, they definitely need to be prosecuted for that. But let's see this next one.
Soy-based, while she's getting ready for the next one, soy-based, legal shit, I know a little bit here and there. I mean, I have family members who work in legal areas, so I can consult them. But I mean, yes, while I do know some things about legal stuff, it's all coming from secondhand knowledge. It's not me specifically that knows it personally.
Yeah,
Just
this is
wanna
just
make
all
that
stuff
clear.
that we've read and seen. We weren't involved in any of it ourselves, but we want people to be able to look into it and make up their own decisions, you know, make up their own mind. But I thought this was pretty interesting. I've played a few Joe Rogan clips on here quite a few times with Ian Carroll. I think he's interesting, and I follow him on TikTok. So I thought I would share this one real quick.
Have you read Strange Scenes Inside Laurel Canyon?
I started to read it. I have not finished.
It's so, I mean, even just the
But it's
first chapter, right?
nuts.
So if you take that book's premise, it's basically that before the hippie movement, there was a very powerful organized anti-war movement led by a bunch of Quakers, a bunch of black activists, a bunch of, like, my dad was one of them. Like, my dad was one of them. My dad was one of them. My dad was one of them. Have you read
I thought that was kind of funny, but yeah, I mean, there's so much stuff from so many different people. It's like we're being bombarded with different points of view from every angle about every subject. Have you guys noticed that, or do you feel like that is going on right now?
Say again, I'm sorry.
Okay, it seems like every corner, everywhere you look in any direction, you're getting bombarded with information about something and coming out about something from the past or something that's happening right now. It's almost like we're being overwhelmed with information to keep us spinning. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, instead of looking straight ahead and trying to solve certain things, because we're all trying to do a bunch of things at one time, and nobody can do all that.
Well, the thing is that the system is designed to overwhelm you unless you have dedication and focus. You're not going to be able to keep your eye on the ball because there's 17 balls in the air and spinning plates as well.
Mhm.
So that's just how it's all designed. I mean, if either you are like, oh, well, I get cable and I have 9 subscription services, or you're like some of our friends who are, I don't have cable. I hook my computer directly up to the internet. I listen for news links. I read. I make my own decisions. I do not whatsoever believe anything that is on a newscast. I have to go read it and find third-party information myself.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I try to do. Some of this stuff is I want people to look and read, research things, and make up your own decision, and don't strictly disbelieve something because somebody tells you it's true. Okay. And we can get overwhelmed because there's so much going on. And that's why I like listening to the actual police. Like a few times I've been showing what happened with Gene Hackman and listening to the actual police officers that were, investigating it. If we can just be patient and try to wait until the facts come out, we'll all be better off. And it's just really hard when you're looking there and looking there and looking over there and listening because there's so much going on all at the same time. So just try to be careful. But this is we talked about this the other day where Jamie White was murdered, and a lot of people. And then after that, it's when all the doxing and the swatting started happening. So a lot of people think that he was the first one to be taken out. But here is the police officer talking to us about what happened. So let's
Once again, my name is Jason Jones. I am the lead investigator into the murder investigation of Jamie White. On Sunday, March 9th, 2025 at approximately 11:56 p.m., the Austin Police Department responded to a call of a shooting at the Chandelier Apartments located at 2336 Douglas Street. When officers arrived on the scene, they located one victim. He was later identified as Jamie White, lying on the ground in the parking lot with apparent trauma to his body. White was transported to a local hospital where he was pronounced deceased at 12:19 a.m. on March 10th, 2025. Homicide detectives and crime scene specialists responded to process the crime scene and interview witnesses. The initial investigation shows that White was shot and killed in the parking lot of the apartment complex in which he lived. The suspects then fled the scene. During the crime scene investigation, evidence indicated White interrupted an individual or group of individuals as they broke into his vehicle. That evidence includes the fact that one of White's windows was broken out and that the suspects appeared to have been cut in some way, as blood was found inside Mr. White's vehicle. A suspect vehicle has been identified. That vehicle was reported stolen a few days prior to the murder and has since been recovered by the Austin Police Department. Today, we're asking for anyone with information about Mr. White's murder to call the police department or submit that information anonymously to the Capital Area Crime Stoppers program. Additionally, we want to warn the community to be cautious if they discover someone breaking into their vehicles. The individuals responsible for Mr. White's murder are known to be armed and have no regard for human life. If you discover someone breaking into your vehicle, please call 911 immediately and provide the call taker with a good description of the suspects and their vehicle, including a license if possible, and give the direction of travel if possible. If you have been the victim of a vehicle burglary, particularly if in the area of Douglas Street and Old Torf Street, or if your vehicle is a Kia, in particular a Kia, and you have not already reported this offense to the Austin Police Department, please do so as soon as possible. It's very important that we get all this data. The Austin Police Department Homicide Unit and Austin Police Department Tactical Intelligence Unit continues to work this investigation, and we are following all leads as they develop. Again, anyone with information should contact the Austin Police Department at 512-974-TIPS, TIPS. You may also submit your tip anonymously through the Capital Area Crime Stoppers program by visiting austincrimestoppers.org or calling 512-472-8477. A reward of up to $1,000 may be available for anyone providing information that leads to an arrest.
Yeah, I just wanted to share that somebody asked in the chat. Let's see, who is Mr. White? Yeah, he worked for Alex Jones, and he was one of his little reporters that would help him go out and find things and things like that. That's why a lot of people think that he might have been the first swatted person, but the police are leaning more towards that it was someone trying to steal his car because of the type of car he was driving. So I think it's terrible. But also Chase was also he was swatted, and Chase was on Drew's show when we were on there a couple times. He's been on there as a guest on the show that we did before he started working for Alex Jones. So, and he's been bothered by that a few times and being doxxed basically. And that's what's so scary about this whole thing. Because I went to the police department today and gave them my information and my cell phone number in case somebody calls in a fake something that I'm trying to kill people, or I'm trying to kill myself or something like that, for them to call my cell number and to let me, to ask me myself, because who I am. And because this is ridiculous. This is stupid. And all it's going to do is hurt people. It's going to hurt someone. Someone's going to get hurt. All these people, I had a show yesterday on my show, Team Shit Show. I talked about all the doxing and the swatting that was going on, all the cases, different people being interviewed. Another person I know on X who does nothing but go on X Spaces and talk like Donald Trump. Ever since before he was even president, he was doing it because he sounds just like him. He's really, really good at impersonating Trump's voice. And his house was swatted at 2:30 in the morning. And since then, yes, Sean. Okay, and he keeps getting people calling pizza orders to his house, cash on delivery and stuff. You think by now that these people in that town would say, we're not delivering pizza there because we know it's fake. And they keep delivering pizza and not getting paid for it. So all of this is ridiculous. And it's just dumb. And it's an immature way for these people to get attention for themselves and laugh and high five each other or something. I have no idea. They're keyboard warriors trying to hurt people. But it costs money. In California, there was like 200 kids evacuated from the hospital, a children's hospital, because there were bomb threats. Okay. And they had to take all the kids out. I mean, just this kind of stuff has got to stop. I mean, it's costing millions of dollars, and all these police officers and first responders and stuff having to go to all these people's homes. What was it? Joe Pags. He was also swatted. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. It's just stupid. And so all these people need to contact their local police departments or sheriff's departments and tell them who they are, what they do, and why they might be targeted for swatting, so that if that number or name or address comes up, they immediately call the number of the person who's verified that lives there, and maybe stop it before they send out a bunch of police officers. But the scary, sad thing is that some of these people, it's been their parents or their wife been home alone, like Gunther. His wife was alone at home when they swatted their house, so it's like, I don't know. To me, it's just ridiculous. And I just wanted to share that case of him, of his death, because I think it's terrible. It's a tragic murder over a car or over a prank. You know what I mean? Either one, it's ridiculous.
It's a shame there, Janet. We're going to miss Jamie the whole time. That's all I can say.
I know. It's sad. I'm going to miss him. But I just think that, I just wish that we had more people that actually cared enough about what's going on in their own neighborhood that they wouldn't want to be a part of some stupid shit like that. You know what I mean?
Juanita Broderick just, as of 3 hours ago, just had 3 pizzas delivered to her house that she did not order. She's called the police.
Well, good. She should. Yeah. But here's something else. Here's another article or another video I thought you guys might want to listen to. A lot of people have been talking about Thomas Massey because he's a Trump hater. He's always hated Trump. But he says he's, conservative or whatever. And so I thought we would get a little kick out of this whole thing. Listen to this.
Rachel Maddow, if he would just go away, if he would just sign an agreement that he would not run again for public office, this would all stop. And what has Trump said? Nope. I'm all in. Now, why is that? He understands this moment, the urgency of this moment. He understands. That's why I said Thomas Massey and this theoretical talk about the Constitution. The Constitution's been shredded. That's effete intellectualism. That's reading National Review. It doesn't matter anymore. That's just that's salon conversation. We're beyond that. We're beyond that.
In a tweet sure to garner the ire of President Trump, Thomas Massey wrote on Twitter today, "In order to be consistent in preserving the constitutional structure of our republic, I will be voting for the resolution to prevent the president from using a national emergency declaration to reappropriate money for the wall."
A staunch ally of fellow Kentuckian Mitch McConnell, Thomas Massey attended a rally today to support his campaign, warning fellow conservatives to back off from attacking the veteran senator.
But, some say that, Jeff Flake is not on board with the agenda, and they are critical of him. So do you think the president would be wrong to try to primary him and try to get him out of there?
What I've learned serving in the House of Representatives, there's 435 members. Don't alienate any of them, not a single one.
Why not try to stop Paul Ryan from becoming Speaker? After the election, you said he didn't have your vote, but he was approved unanimously for Speaker.
Well, John Boehner was approved unanimously, too.
I anticipate voting for this rule.
And for people, when people want to express their ideology, the floor of the House on the actual final passage of the bill is the place to do that.
Thomas Massey of Kentucky announced he is a yes. You heard probably just now a sigh of relief from Speaker Kevin McCarthy at getting that yes vote.
20 Republicans chose to side with Democrats and not censure Adam Schiff, including Thomas Massey, who tweeted, "I'm still litigating a federal lawsuit against Pelosi over a salary reduction she imposed on me for my refusal to wear a mask."
They can introduce all the resolutions they want. It can be 16 million or 160 million. I'm not going to stop defending our democracy.
Joining me now is Kentucky Congressman Tom Massey, who has endorsed Governor Ron DeSantis for president. Congressman.
Well, Ron will be able to talk about the economy because he didn't shut his down. And Trump was urging governors to shut their economies down.
Oh, they got to put him on primetime on Fox. Let's get him on Laura Ingraham and let's have him talk about some decent. No, Massey, you were the one in the Rules Committee that let the debt ceiling go forward. You.
%. Yeah. What did you guys think about that video?
I'm not a big fan of Massey. He's just a showman. That's all it is. He's not fucking Ron Paul. He's nowhere near Ron Paul, and he's not. Even if he gives a shit about Trump, or even if he doesn't give a shit about Trump, it's a shame that there's so many things they would rather not talk about and focus on Massey than talk about the important shit. I mean, right now I'm pulling up Ground News, and so appeals court lifted a block on Trump's executive orders. And this was 7 hours ago on ending the government support for diversity, equity, and inclusion programs. Not a whole lot of reporting's going on about that. I mean, it'll be reported tomorrow because that's when all the useful idiots wake up and they can have riots about this. Fourth U.S. District, or excuse me, the Fourth U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals allowed the orders to be enforced while a lawsuit against them continues, overruling a previous injunction by U.S. District Judge Adam Abelson. And 2 judges acknowledged concerns about the First Amendment rights related to the orders, but agreed that the previous block was too broad and unnecessary. So, City of Baltimore and 3 other groups claim that Trump overstepped the target free speech with these orders, which are possibly unconstitutional. We'll find out more tomorrow. This is going to be a developing story. But nope, let's talk about Tom Massey because Trump bad. Brr. That's what I got out of it. I heard a bunch of really shitty stringed instruments for about 4 seconds. For every second of speaking, instead there's no information. It's just we're trying to do filler, and Thomas Massey will provide you with filler. He's the honey boo boo of the middle idiots. Centrist.
Yeah, I agree. The thing is, it's just like I said a while ago. We're being bombarded from both sides. Okay. From the left and the right, not the MAGA. Do you see what I mean? Yeah. I'm a MAGA person. I believe in America First agenda. Okay. I'm not leaning towards the rhinos or the lefties. Okay. I'm in the middle and I'm fighting for what I believe is right for our country and what we're leaving to our children and our grandchildren, our great grandchildren. Okay. That's what I believe in. And that's why I feel it's like I have 4 sisters. So that gives me a good test. When I listen to one sister and she's like, well, I don't like to pay attention to that stuff because all they do is complain. Okay. Then the other one says, well, when they start cussing and stuff, I just turn it off. Okay. See, we're turning people off in lots of different ways. And I cuss, I cuss a lot when I get pissed off. I say, fuck you and stuff like that. But I feel like I have the right to say that, and I don't do it like, when I'm in church, but, what I'm seeing is people being turned off and looking the other way now. We're 2 months in, and people are already saying, "Oh, I don't want to worry about it anymore. It's out of my hands." That isn't good. That isn't a good thing. That's why I'm really thinking we've got to start seeing more, like with Kash Patel, talking about all the drugs and the guns and the people they arrested already. Okay, but who's reporting it? Where is it? It's not all over the news. It's not being told. So people don't feel like anything's being done. So they're just saying, "Oh, well, I just don't have time to worry about it anymore." It's sad to me. It's sad that we have people that are just turning off the channel. Let's go watch cartoons, or let's go watch the movie channel, because I don't want to listen to the news. I don't want to hear about it.
You got another piece. You got another couple minutes for me here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anything you want to bring up?
Oh yeah, I definitely want to bring this up. Orange
Okay,
Hat's going to find this funny. So, podcaster Gavin Newsom is forced to borrow $3.44 billion to pay for Medicaid for illegal aliens. And the state of California must borrow $3.44 billion to cover the shortfall in Medi-Cal, the state's Medicaid program, a year after expanding it to offer free health care to illegal aliens. As Breitbart News reported at the time, beginning January 1st, 2024, illegal aliens residing in California will become eligible for taxpayer-funded health insurance, the first state in the nation to enact such a breakthrough policy. Governor Gavin Newsom had boasted of the budget agreement that made such a dramatic offer possible. With the new investments in California, we will become the first state to achieve universal access to healthcare coverage. Newsom said this in a statement in June of 2022. But after a full year, it is clear that the Golden State lacks the cash to follow through on this commitment. So, little Ashley Zavala,
So why don't they just boot them out? They're illegals. Why are they getting any money that should be going to our veterans?
Don't you dare get rid of my votes, Shannon. That's my bread and butter.
Sickening. It just makes me sick.
So they purged the Republican State Assemblyman Carl DiMaio of San Diego from 2 budget committees, punishing him for demanding greater scrutiny of the state's spending choices. Governor Gavin Newsom, Democrat, has in the meantime launched a podcast to interview conservatives, and he's using it to claim that California is better run than Republican states like Florida. He also signed a bill to spend $50 million to fight the Trump administration policies. That was on Breitbart, shared three hours ago.
Okay, he's asking for millions of dollars.
$3.44 billion, Janet.
He's spending all that money to fight the Trump administration. So
$50 million.
It looks like a dumbass
to fight Trump.
Doesn't know how to balance
cover
his
Medicaid.
checkbook. And he's
Medi-Cal.
expecting you and I to pay the bill for him. And I'm going to say
$3.44 billion, Janet. Do you not understand $3.44 billion?
Yeah, no, I agree.
Medi-Cal.
I understand. But the thing is, he takes money and he passes a bill for stupid shit, okay, in his state. So his own state should have to pay for it. Why should the rest of us that are fiscally paying our bills in our states have to bail out California? They're not too big to fail. Let them fail. See, let them fail. Break it up into 2 or 3 different states. I don't care what they do. I don't think we should give them a dime. And I'm hoping that Trump says, F you. No, we're not giving you any money. And he said, didn't Trump say he wasn't going to give any federal funding to sanctuary cities? So if they got all those freaking aliens there that are sucking them dry, sucking the tit dry, then why should any one of us have to pay them any money? I don't understand how that's makes any sense at all. So what do you think we should do about that?
What do I think about that? We've got 87,000 government employees that are at the wall right now that were formerly IRS agents. We could possibly have them kid up a little bit, at least get not armed, and have them go to California and help evict $3.44 billion worth of walking health care out of the state to the South, back where it fucking belongs. But, that's just because I'm a heartless fucking MAGA Republican, and I don't give a shit about people's feelings. I never have. You don't get anywhere whenever you fucking worry about how everybody else feels. You got to fucking take care of your own ass. And you're not being selfish about it. You're just trying to make sure that you have enough money to do something tomorrow. You can eat tomorrow. You can plan for your rent next month. But
that's what you're working your ass off, and then you look at your check and it says FICA. Okay. And that's money taken out of it, and you didn't have any say in that. Even though that money, part of that money is going to go to California to bail them out because they're stupid, idiotic choices. See, we should be able to say yes or no when it comes to our own check that we just sweated to earn, whether any of this money goes to that, and it shouldn't. And I guarantee no one's going to vote yes.
I started going on a 1099 so I could force myself to save, which has actually started to work out because I'm getting paid a good chunk, but now I've got 1/3 of my checks off to the side, and they're like waiting for the quarterly fucking tax day because you think I'm an allowed son of a bitch now. Wait till I have to file. Wait. I will not be happy. And the thing is that I know Pam Bondi wants to do all this stuff with the Epstein list. I don't want to hear arrests. If you're fucking with kids, I don't want you to swing. That's all there is to it.
Didn't Trump already say that he believes that people who do that kind of stuff to kids should get the death penalty?
Yep.
So maybe he's working on approaching to pass some kind of bill. If it's a federal, like if they've taken a kid over the border or over to another state, isn't that considered a federal offense?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Second across state lines, it becomes federal.
Okay, so if any kid is trafficked, right, over the border or into another state and is used for sex or anything like that, then they can legally give them the death penalty. Apparently, if Trump can get them to pass some kind of bill that he can sign into law, maybe we'll end up getting something like that. So his first term had more arrests for child trafficking than any of the other presidents that I remember in my lifetime.
I remember all the arrests from child trafficking the first term, which was significant. It was like in excess of like 400 or 500 people that I can just remember off the top of my head. Hey, Tommy, how you doing, sir? I think we had like 500. There was like 500 that were done within like 6 months. You got real stuff done.
Yeah, I hear a little bit of thunder in the background, you guys. We got storms all around, so hopefully my power won't go out or anything. But I don't know. I just think it's I just hope they can do something because you know me. One of the first things we did when we did our first Rumble show together, it was the Eyes of the Devil documentary I was talking about, and because I think people who do things like that with children don't deserve to live. I really don't. And anyone that actually has a child, never held a child in their arms, and helped them when they were sick at night and things like that. I don't know how a person could do anything but want to love a child that way. You know what I mean? As a parent would love, or an aunt or an uncle, or a grandparent, for that matter. But to do harm to a child purposely is somebody that can't be helped. You cannot rehabilitate a person who does something like that to kids. So that's the only thing I can see we can do is to try to make it a federal law that if you do certain things like that with kids, and you get the end. You know what I mean? That's what they do. So we'll see if that happens or not. But do you have anything you want to add or chat?
If they really want to cut out waste, fraud, and abuse and cut certain spending elsewhere, they need to get rid of the gas chamber. They need to get rid of the lethal injection because, believe it or not, it does cause or cost money for those chemicals and shit. What they need to do is they need a gun and a bullet. That's all they
So
need.
like that firing
Put
squad.
them on their knee.
off?
Nope, not even a firing squad. You put the person on their knees, you take them out, or after they are found guilty of whatever crime that is indeed worthy of the death penalty, you take them outside of the courthouse. You cordon off the area. You bring them outside, you put them on their knees, you put a bullet through their head. And then you have a doctor check their vitals.
Why don't we just do the hangings again? That's cheaper than a bullet.
I like
because you have to also build up. You have to build up the gallows.
Well,
costs money to build the gallows.
I'm just saying, there's plenty of ways to do it. But I was shocked. I showed it on the show. I think last week, the one about the guy that chose the firing squad to die. So, and then when I asked how come they didn't shoot him in the head, that they had to shoot him in the heart, they said, well, they have to have facial recognition to prove that they executed the right person. So it took them longer to die. And I'd rather see that than lethal injection anyways, because to me, a person that's murdered a bunch of people shouldn't be able to just go to sleep and go, la, la, you know. I'd like to see them squirming a little bit, you know, when it's their turn. Because they didn't even give that choice to their victim.
Janet having a sadistic side.
Hey, I've said it before. Bruce has heard me say it.
She's super
I have also said
sadistic.
If you,
I hang out with her for 6 hours every Saturday. That lady is, she's got a very vicious bone in her body.
Yeah.
I mean,
Especially
I've
when it
always
comes to
said,
kids.
that when it comes to the death penalty, however a person commits their crime to kill should be the way that they go, or should be the way that they go out. Now, if they have killed many different people or many people in different ways, honestly, yes, I know this falls under cruel and unusual punishment clause, so it can't be done. But I do believe personally that those people should suffer the same injuries and same tortures that they have inflicted upon their victims.
Well, that'd be a good choice too. My dad would always say that every state should just dig a giant hole in the ground. I mean, huge. He really didn't give me any size or anything like that. And he said, you line it with cement, and you put some drains in it, and that's it. And then when a person gets a death penalty or life in prison, you throw them in the pit, right? And either their family or friends can throw blankets and clothes or food and everything down there, okay? They'll be allowed to bring in, you know, like an offering or whatever, and they can fight to keep it from all the other people that are down there. And that's what they should get. That's what my dad used to say.
I mean,
man,
yes, that is a very
believe
rudimentary.
That sounds really good to me. So that the people, the families of the victims can like stand over the giant hole, you know, with a stadium seating or whatever, and watch how these person suffers until they finally die from either being fighting for their life or whatever. To it's kind of like what I guess it's kind of like what with the gladiators and all that stuff in Rome. It's kind of like that, but you don't give them weapons. You just put them down there, and it's hand-to-hand combat basically. And they only if people throw food down there for them. So
it's a very outdated. It's a very outdated and more or less humane way of doing what's known as execution.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can understand why some people would like to go back to the older and more
to sleep
brutal
in?
ways.
Why should they get to take showers? Why
It's a
should
return
they
to the
get,
primitive.
you know, any of that stuff? Why should they get any of that stuff? They murdered people.
Now here's the
Now
thing.
we're taking care of them.
You are
Like what my dad always said. So it's like
You're absolutely right. Now here's the thing. As much as I do, as much as I say that I believe that people should handle this stuff, I should also point out a clarification. If you are able to see this sort of stuff happen, if you are able to absorb the full weight of what you are suggesting, and then you can actually find a way to live with the act being done, by all means, it should be allowed to be done. Meaning, Janet, if you are all for that torture, you need to be able. Listen. If you are all for that person being executed in however different ways or whatever, whatnot, thrown into a pit, you need to be able, or I believe that a person should be required to watch the suffering of that other human being so that they can absolutely feel the necessary mental, or they should be able to mentally absorb it. Because unless you are, because there's a lot of people, there's an old saying, you don't know what you are suggesting. You don't understand what you are suggesting. And I believe that if a person is to suggest that stuff, they should at least understand the mental weight of what it is. Now, as I said, and I can honestly say this, I have suggested torture for people and whatnot, but because I also believe that, I can tell you right now, if I was to see a person suffering in any gorish way, I would not be able to handle it. I would actually have to say, okay, I cannot watch this any further. So yes, in a way, I am a hypocrite. In a way, I can actually fully fucking admit that.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, folks. When we say these things, we are acting on our most basic emotions. When it does come to our society, we have progressed as a society. We do believe in humane execution. Now, yes, the reason why we are returning to a more basic emotional response is because the way that we are executing, or lack thereof, rather, is because the states are not enforcing executions anymore. They are not seeing a lot of people being held accountable for their crimes. After 8 years of fighting against Trump to the point where states outright rebelled against him, and then under Biden, we saw law basically completely discarded. Yes, I completely understand why people are wanting more, or a return to the basic, a return to the more older and more, in a way, efficient style of justice. But the question is, are you mentally equipped to handle that visceral
I think
action?
a lot of people would be. I mean, like that video that I saw of that gentleman that's standing by the payphone, and they bring the perp by him.
That
at
is
the
a
airport.
choice made in the moment. Yes.
Yeah.
That,
No, it wasn't in the moment. He thought about it because he had to be in place and ready to go.
Absolutely.
For it.
But
Okay?
it takes a
And the other
moment.
one, I know, but then the other one was the father that was on the news that walked in and caught his little daughter being raped by a ranch hand, and he beat him to a pulp with his bare hands. And
Yes, and
so
all
I'm
of
just
these
saying,
and all of these are decisions that are made in a single moment, in which, yes, a person can plan things. I am not disputing that they can't. But in the moment when that ideal second arrives, and the point is, will you be able to actually do it? Yes, there are some who will act in that moment, and then later on, believe it or not, some people will actually regret taking the life of somebody who harmed or wronged them in such a heinous way. Now, I'm not saying that those parents will feel that, but there are people who will actually feel regret for perpetrating the same evil that somebody perpetrated on them.
Everything in our lives, isn't it? I mean, we all regret something we did. You know, like when your parent dies and you think, oh, I wish I'd spent more time with my parents. I wish I'd done more with my parents or my sister or my sibling. We all regret something that we've done in our lives. But just like I said, I would build like a big thing around it, a big cage so people can't, get people out. And you'd have to have guards and all that stuff still to watch the giant hole, as big as like it's Texas Stadium or something like that. It'd be a big hole, and it has to be really deep. But basically, have it to where they can go up there on these giant things and look down and watch.
Can you watch a person starve to death? Can you watch a person being beaten to a pulp? I mean, it's easy to watch it on TV. It's easy to watch it in movies.
Fist fights. I've seen fist fights where people were fighting.
Well, yes.
I've gone to cage fighting events.
But have you seen a person be killed in real life?
No, I've only seen people hit by a car and other things like that and dying. Yes, I have seen that. And it's sad.
I've never seen a murder.
Exactly.
But I've seen somebody come to a violent end, but
not in a movie, in real life.
No, like within like 100 feet of me.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Because that is basically what I am saying. If you have if you can absolutely absorb the situation in reality, then I absolutely agree that you should be able to entertain the idea of actually thinking it should be done in reality.
Well, I know this sounds really horrible, but a dead pedophile doesn't reoffend.
You are absolutely correct, and I'm not going to dispute that either. You are absolutely right. People who are pedophiles,
even a rapist or a murderer, it depends on the reason they murdered or why they committed the crime. But a person who's already been judged in a court of law to get the death penalty is the first people that I would put. Those are the people that would go in it. Not anyone else, just those people. And now that we have DNA and all the different things that we have technology wise, there's no reason for a person that would be put in there that didn't deserve to be there.
Now, and to go off of Bruce's point for a moment, when it does come to pedophiles and sexual assaulters and whatnot, when it comes to those people, take it from a person who knows a person who has worked in state, for a state or state workers, and who have actually had to be exposed to these people, pedophiles and whatnot.
Yeah.
They will never, or you cannot 100% rehabilitate them. They will always have the urges. They will always seek to offend again. That is why I am so strong, or I feel so strongly about this stuff, because I was accused of it. And I have actually been exposed to people when I was incarcerated. There was one of them, because unfortunately you have to be around people who have actually done evil in jail, even when you yourself have not.
Yeah.
And there was one of them who actually admitted that he had consensual relations with an 11-year-old, and he was in his 20s, his late 20s at the time. And I'm thinking to myself, get the fuck away from me. Please get the fuck away from me. And hearing a person actually say that this shit happened, it's like, it is disgusting. It is absolutely disgusting. That person is now currently serving 25 to life, I believe. But because everybody is all for the punishment. Everybody is all, and you know what? There is, and you are absolutely right, John M. There is no such thing as consensual with a minor. Absolutely. That's why in many places they call it age of consent in countries and whatnot. Now, places like Japan and even Europe, where age of consent is like 16, 15, and sometimes even in certain areas, 14. I could, even if I went to those countries, I would never seek anybody those ages to have sex with. Because one, I was raised in the United States. It's disgusting to think of a child who is under the age of 18 in any other way than an innocent.
A child.
Exactly. To see them in any other way, in any sort of sexual manner, is abhorrent.
Yeah.
But or when it comes to the punishment of them, absolutely yes, they should be put down because they are not they are not rehabilitated, and you will always have a hostile added, or you will always have a hostile populace who will not treat them properly, even though they have done their time in jail or whatever, due to the gravity of their crime. They will never be treated right. They will never be given the opportunity to have a job, to get whatever, or to get on with life, because, well, look at how they are treated after they get out. They have to go onto a registry. What kind of life can you really live in that kind of registry? That is why I believe that pedophiles, depending, or actually, no, not depending on the severity of the crime, they should be ended. And anybody who supports that sort of behavior and is verifiably proven. Now, yes, I'm saying verifiably proven instead of suspected, because there are people I suspect are perverted. James Gunn, or I like to bring up James Gunn a lot. The director, everybody knows from Guardians of the Galaxy. This man made, or everybody knows about the jokes that he made online that got him fired and then rehired by Disney. But then he also hosted a party at his home that was pedophile themed. To me, that is called 2 red flags. This man has made jokes about sexual contact with children, and then he is hosting a party in which you, or if you are attending, you need to dress like a pedophile or act like a pedophile. That means that this person has given serious consideration 2 out of 3 times to actually performing that disgusting act. And the fact that people are all wanting to see Superman, the movie, because James Gunn, and he did Guardians of the Galaxy really well. This man has given 2 red flags that suggests he is a very unsafe person around children. Now, until I see evidence that disputes my claim, or that disputes my suspicions, that refutes them completely, I am allowed to have that opinion. And yes, I will state it as an opinion. I will not say that the man is a verified pedophile.
Yeah.
Now, I will always say he is, as an opinion, he is pedophilic in my opinion. But I will, or because that man has given 2 red flags suggesting it.
Yeah.
And people look at me like I'm fucking crazy all over X, all over Facebook. It's like, oh, dude, he's made jokes. Fucking lighten up. You don't make jokes unless you have given serious consideration to the content of what you are joking about.
Yeah. I agree with that. You should think about whatever it is you're talking about before you say it. But a lot of people do put their foot in their mouth, make mistakes that way. I know I've done it many times. But I had this one more thing I wanted to share. And if you don't want to see an animal suffering, don't watch it. Okay. But they don't die. They revive these dogs. These are some dogs that are found in a house that's burning. And
I will not be watching that.
It's the people saving the dogs, and that's what it's for. It's for the people who risk their life to save others. So it's for first responders, and it's them giving them oxygen and stuff on the side of the road, showing you what they go through to save animals also. And the reason I wanted to share this one is because I love animals. Okay. I love all animals, and any animal that you're not catching or shooting to eat is not an animal that you should kill. Okay. And if you get a pet, you should love it and take care of it. You took the time out of your life to take that animal. You should care for it, no matter what kind of animal it is. And, but the thing is, a lot of people don't realize that when you do these stupid stunts, you could injure the animals too, especially if you throw like those flaming bottles into people's homes and things like that. You don't know what damage you're going to cause. If the people are sleeping, their animal is asleep too, more than likely, and they could die. And when a first responder goes to a home, for fire or a gas leak or whatever it is, the first thing they're going to do is try to save the people. Okay. The animals are last. So think about that sometimes. And then also think about the people who are going in there, risking their lives to save us, people like us. So I wanted to show this video because it shows the dedication that we have with our firemen and our paramedics and stuff that save people's lives. It's not just people, they also save animals. So I wanted to share this because I thought it was really, really good. And it's very heartwarming. Now you have to watch it all the way to the end because that's when you get to see the dogs sitting up and, doing all that with the people, I guess the owners of the dogs. But it's just how it seems like it takes forever, but it really isn't that long when you think about it. And they are breathing. They're just very, very close to death because they haven't had oxygen. They're breathing in all that carbon monoxide from the fire. So I just want you to see. But it's really, really, it's a really touching video. Let me make it bigger. Okay, see, they're alive. They save these animals' lives, but it's to me it's heartwarming to see that we still have people that are willing to get a job being a firefighter or a police officer or a paramedic to save lives, whether it's animals or people, but they're risking their own lives to do it. And it takes a special person. Okay, a lot of people say caregivers, that take care of the elderly at the end of their lives, knowing that they're not going to live, because they're going to die in the nursing home or in the hospice care or whatever. But we don't seem to appreciate what these people are actually giving up for us to keep us safe. Because the first thing you think of is call 911, right? We're not realizing the people that are actually coming to save us are people risking their lives. They don't know what they're coming into. They don't know if they're going to get shot at or the building's going to collapse on them or whatever. But I just want to share this because we don't share enough of seeing the good things that happen too. Okay, it's a tragedy that ended up being good. Thankful because these people showed up and risked their lives to save these animals and the people. So I just wanted to end the show with something good like that because it's I don't think enough people talk about it or share this type of stuff. So I just wanted to share that tonight because I thought it was a very touching video. And I lost both my dogs, last year. They were old though. They lived very long lives and, I spoiled them rotten like most of us do. And I just haven't gotten the whim yet to go and get another one.
I got something to share.
I want one.
Do
what?
I have something to share.
Oh, you want me to share that up on stage?
You can't. Well, I have two things to share. First off, for you Canadians, are you sharing it now?
Yeah.
Okay. Guess what, guys? He's gone. He's out. You're never again going to have to stare at this face ever again.
He's gone?
I
What do
don't
you
want to
mean?
stare at it right now. Get this shit off the screen.
He's out. He's out. You got some other schlup in there.
Oh, fuck,
Oh,
man.
they got rid of him?
Yeah, they got rid of him.
Yeah,
Oh, well,
finally,
thank
or he's
God.
finally gone. The
I didn't
problem
know that.
is, the problem
didn't know that.
is, they have other people who are just as worse taking
Yeah,
his
they do.
place.
But
They got that fucking Sikh wearing motherfucker.
yeah,
Or that freaking Sikh motherfucker, as well as
he's another anti-Trumper. That's all it is.
as well as the other guy that threatened to turn off the fucking electricity in New
Oh
York.
yeah, and the water. Yeah, they were saying they're going to turn off all
the electricity. Go ahead, turn it off. Fuck you.
to the
And
American.
it's like, oh, guess what? Okay, you don't get it. I mean, they honestly don't get it. Everybody's like, oh, the tariff war is it's just fucking bloviated. It's like,
Damn it.
look what happened when he first did the tariffs. Look what happens when he first did the tariffs. What happened to Mexico's peso and the Canadian dollar? They
You know what
fucking
happened, right?
bottomed out.
Well, the thing is that it causes panic and it forces people to come to the table. When he throws out that fucking grenade like that, look out, I'm going to fucking collapse your economy. People walk up there after they talk real tough on TV and social media. Oh, Mr. Trump came here to kiss the ring. And that's the thing that happens.
This is
Now-
masterclass.
Now we got this shit going on. U.S. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick. Trump wants no taxes for Americans earning under $150K annually. Don't know how that's going to work. I'm not a tax professional. I'm reading a news article. It's been popping up everywhere for the past 2 days.
He
U.S.
wants to
Commerce
do the
Secretary-
Teddy Roosevelt route. Teddy Roosevelt was a tariff president.
Yeah. And for people making under $150K a year, he made this announcement through Lutnick on Tuesday. No tax for anybody who makes less than $150,000 a year. That's his goal. That's what I'm working for. He underscores a vision that would put thousands of dollars back in the pockets of American families, people like you and me. He elaborates further in another interview with Fox News, detailing how Trump intends to finance the massive tax relief plan while balancing the budget. According to Lutnick, the Trump administration focuses on driving revenue through tariffs, closing offshore tax scams, slashing excessive spending, and instead of squeezing the middle class for every last penny. And so you have things like this 150K tax relief program. You have things like no tax on overtime, no tax on tips. You have the Trump Gold Card, which they talk about. It's going to be a huge revenue producer. It's going to be it's going to be a huge revenue producer. Then we get rid of all the tax scams like Ireland making $75 billion budget surplus a year. Fuck that. No, that time is over. So I think what's going to happen is that you're not going to see so many Liberian flags on all these ships. Imagine a Liberian flag so they can avoid U.S. taxes. So we're going to see all this change. Give it time.
Well, here's
This guy,
another
he's only
thing.
been in office for like 50 days.
Here's what I would also investigate the constitutionality of. Rosie O'Donnell, by the way, folks, she went to Ireland. To
I
live.
know.
You know
I
what
feel
happened?
sorry for Ireland.
Here's what I would investigate the constitutionality of. If you are seeking asylum from the United States or leaving the United States to live in another country due to the fact with intent that you no longer feel safe or you wish to leave due to a presidential election, I do believe that the constitutionality should be investigated on whether or not they should also give up their citizenship.
Well,
Because it's like, if you are willing to leave this country because you don't like a fucking election, then why should you remain loyal to the country?
Now, Tina Turner gave up her American citizenship when she moved away and got married to her husband. So,
I mean, honestly, I really do think the constitutionality of that should be investigated. And that is, or as for Trump with his thing here, he really does need to see if what Teddy Roosevelt did is sustainable in today's government, because today's government is bigger than Teddy Roosevelt's.
I think that once Doge gets through, though, I think we're going to have a lot less government to worry
It will
about.
never return back to the first Roosevelt style government. It will never return to that.
I agree.
No, we're too big. We're too big of a company with too big of an economy now.
Exactly, which is why he needs to really crunch or get some freaking eggheads together and really crunch those fucking numbers to see if a tariff.
He is. That's
to see if
Doge
a
is.
tariff.
Nothing but eggheads.
No,
they
what
already
they're-
did.
Yes, those are eggheads.
They figured out how much it is, Orange Hat, and the plan is that even with all of the tariffs pouring in, there's going to be something kicked back to the American taxpayer. They don't know what though, and that's the one thing I keep hearing out of Washington insiders, that Trump wants something to go back to people like you and me, middle class people. He wants something to scratch our back with to help kickstart things, to keep the flow of money going, because that's really what powers the economy.
Yeah.
And the thing is that what I believe is going to happen is that a lot of things like the federal taxes are going to fall apart. They're going to go away. And I think what's going to take its place is a bunch of local, city, state, and municipal taxes that are going to try to step in and never quite get so high, I pray, but they're going to have a lot more responsibility on local and state governments. And so Texas and my local community is going to have to figure out how they're going to figure out, can they balance this budget without federal subsidies kicking in, without the infrastructure bills throwing millions of dollars for highway bullshit. You know, that's going to be something that we all discover. That'll be the painful part. After a couple of years, I think it'll be fine.
I mean, here's another thing with the Zelensky deal with the $11 trillion in minerals. It's like, dude, if you fucking put I understand the mineral whole things and whatnot. It's never going to be 11 trillion all at once. But damn, man, if we could freaking put some of that also into getting rid of some of the national debt, Trump would actually be the first president to actually reduce the national debt since Clinton. I mean, Clinton, I believe he actually balanced the budget. And as bad as fucking, or as fucking perverted as a motherfucker that man is, he was a decent president. A decent president. I will not say he was a great president. I will say he is a decent president. Decent, folks, for me, when I say decent, I mean he had some good moments, but he's not great. You know? That's what decent is to me. You did good in some areas, but you're not a great version of what I'm referring to you when I call you a decent thing. Auto market is just starting to see the beginnings of the correction of the EBA changes. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. When it comes, or a lot of people also, I mean, look at how the Democrats are reacting right now. The CR bill is actually going forward. Schumer, as fucked up and as much of an asshole as he is, 15 years ago, that man was saying that you can't do the whole waste, fraud, and abuse. We shouldn't do government shutdowns and all that shit. That dude was basically talking about how Republicans talk nowadays. Democrats used to actually have a moderate party. They actually used to have a decent party. Unfortunately, they have allowed too much extremism into their party, and they have allowed that extremism to propagate, to breed and expand. The Squad, that fucking ghetto trash fucking, I can't remember her name. She's from
Texas. Like Jasmine Crockett?
Crotchet. I don't fucking call her
Crockett. I call
Jasmine
Crotchet.
Crotchet, yeah. Just like fucking, what's his name? Greg Foreman from Black Conservatives Perspective. Jasmine Crotchet. That's what she fucking deserves to be called. Also, AOC. I want to know how the fucking investigation is going into her. Because if Pam Bondi is in fact investigating her for possibly aiding and abetting illegals, allegedly doing so, I can't say it as a fact, folks. I can say it legally as allegedly.
But didn't she say it? Didn't Pam Bondi say she was going to look into that?
She never answered. Right? She never answered her question.
Oh,
or because
they asked
AOC wrote
her
a
that,
letter.
but she didn't
Yeah,
answer.
AOC wrote a
Okay.
letter asking her about it, but also saying, "Are you gonna prosecute your political enemies or whatever?" And it's like, oh, you're really putting that in that fucking letter? Are you stupid?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they
Or
are.
when it, oh well, yeah, every one of them that's been in longer than 15 years is on video saying the same thing Trump and the Republicans are saying. Exactly, John M. They are, and or nowadays we now see what a true Democratic Party is. A true, or these people who want a democracy, as they continue to say. Because remember that video that we did when I first came onto the shit show, folks, that explained the differences between democracy and republic, and the true state of government that is the United States. Me, when it comes to right and left, I follow that video's scale of government, or of the political scales, where the right and far right is no government, where the left and far left is total government. And in the middle, you have the constitutional moderates. And I believe that we should return to that. And a lot of people are like, well, this was just Trump propaganda. It's like, no, this video was released during Obama's tenure as president. So no, it isn't. AOC's letter was a setup to try to cover her ass and make it look like they're going after her for exercising her First Amendment rights. And here's the thing. They should they should not care what she has to say about that. And they can try to make it, about, oh, they're just trying to prosecute political enemies. They should not care what they are trying to do, and they should still fucking do it. Regardless of the optics, regardless of it, if they break the law, they need to be held to account. I agree with Tim Pool, as much as I think that man is an idiot when he spouts the whole Civil War shit all the time, because immediately if some civil unrest starts happening, the man calls for the man is saying, oh, Civil War's coming. It's like, dude, I stopped following you because you over fucking played that card. Mm-hmm. And now he's starting it up again. But getting back to my point, he actually said, if I was Speaker of the House, I would not have done what Mike Johnson did. I would not have adjourned after what's his name, Al Green, and the others started singing in the middle of Congress. I would have called for the Capitol Police, and I would have had all of them arrested. I agree with that. Mm-hmm. I would have done the same thing, because they did exactly what the people who went into the Capitol on January 6th were charged with. They disrupted a congressional proceeding. Mm-hmm. I would have said, you have 1 minute to disperse from the well, or I am ordering the Capitol Police to arrest all of you under the charge of disrupting a congressional proceeding. Mm-hmm. And if they can't, and if they did it, and if they didn't do it, I would have said, Sergeant at Arms, gather the Capitol Police. You have arrests that need to be made in this. And also seal the chamber. Nobody out. And the only ones to come in are Capitol Police. Mm-hmm. And it's like, well, if they would have done that, they would have caused a civil war. How do you fucking know? I mean, yes, we all do know that the left, or there are leftist lunatics out there who are actually violent and will freaking start burning cities down and shit. Here's the thing. That is when the President Trump says, okay, you guys want to do that? Fine. I am now declaring a state of martial law. Mm-hmm. You just gave me everything I needed to do so. And if you are trying to burn down a city because you don't like you don't like that your own party broke the law and are having accountability, well, you will now be federally prosecuted as well alongside them. U.S. code, or 8 U.S. code 1324. U.S. code is the law. AOC, Ilhan Omar, and others, and the others violated. Yep. I remember something about that too. But yeah, these people, you are telling people how to evade. You are telling them what their rights, which here's the thing. If you are here illegally, you do not have the same rights as we do. You do not have citizenship rights. You do not have the rights that are under the Constitution. You have human rights, yes, but you do not have the same rights as we do. Technically, you're not even allowed fucking counsel, if I remember correctly. But anyway, we got to get this going. I'm getting
I was saying that I'm ready to go to bed. I'm tired. I got up early this morning, and plus I've got storms, just storms.
Yeah.
So
hopefully your
I'm
chickens
sorry
are
about
safe.
they should be fine. I mean, they're chickens, but I wanted to say sorry about the mess up this earlier in the show.
It happens. It's a shit show.
I know. I was so embarrassed though, because I couldn't hear you guys at all. I couldn't hear anyone, but I could read the chat and everything looked normal. So I don't know.
It's like we're all like, Janet, do you fucking hear us? I mean, you couldn't see us. Could you see us?
No, I could see you.
And it's
and
like, Janet, hello.
Yeah, I could see you guys, and that's how I knew you couldn't hear me. I was like, what's going on? It's just really weird. So yeah, I don't know what it was, but I must have clicked something wrong, or I don't know.
It was a
or
fucking
was it
fluke.
glitch, or it was something
It was
about
a
the
weird fucking
internet.
fluke.
Who knows? But I just want to say thank you to everyone who showed up and hung out with us tonight. And I hope we had something that you hadn't heard or seen before. And I hope you guys got a good laugh out of some of the stuff earlier. I thought it was really fun. I really enjoy that. It's good to laugh a little bit and to, broaden your mind. Learn about things you don't know anything about, or try to learn a little about a lot of things. We'll all be better off because we'll be more informed. So I hope you guys all have a wonderful weekend. And thank you so much, you guys, for hanging out with me tonight.
Later.
You guys have a great evening. Bye.